Yeah, I get you get your record.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We had good intentions.
I agree you wanted the audio. This is your own.
Only you go first.
Ready?
Alright.
Yeah, ready.
Now we're good. Now we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep seeing it. Weekend, I don't want to lie. This is and then again, let's stress. I can't much then. But I was dancing and having fun and laughing like I didn't have my heart. So in Garata level, I was waiting for being part of my experience. Today we're talking about health. Nalim Khotsuago. Kito Tomanyana ki February or Naki Chwakai with this training. And then I guess now another sort of conversation and I'll share a Cecily Mafas. So Naga 2016 Salaga Soragi diabetes. And an interest Pagana before kids about how to get Again, Magala, Kipilagala Bile, and Mopolo Akao Tomo lose a memory. You hope Jagaki the level easy. Kepela Lobido Lagalato, and I don't know quench my thirst. You know, knocking on me, it's Markiamartonga, and I cannot retain water. So Kiawana, something is really wrong with me. But I didn't know what came, the problem and the cause. And so I can check it research and realize, okay, get type 2 diabetes. And so in type 2 diabetes, news is that I thought that's what the mainstream tells. So negative if you cannot get the medical side of everything, solution because they're going to tell me, take pills, take the injections for the rest of your life, you need insulin. And so I'm a young man. I'm 30 years old. I have a girlfriend. So I need to get up for the rest of my life. I'm losing my erection. You can understand how much that is a crisis for any man. Can you imagine? I don't believe in it. That means you need to do whatever it takes to make sure So that's what led me to natural medicine. And luckily for me, I got an information from this man called Dr. Sangoma. And it was Dr. Sangoma. If I was to be I think he's one of those people who are longer as there's a certain power. The white man, we feel clear. That's why, probably, how many of you know Dr. Sangoma? Right, very few. That tells me because unfortunately we are all going to get sick until we change the situation that we are in. So Dr. Sangoma wrote about the alkaline foods. Alkaline. Look at that. That tells us what's a level of gap in between the information and the people. And that's part of the reason why Kamakara Tomolo was just suddenly in the black community. I think like they were the high blood in the were not common at some point in our lives. But suddenly these days, who is somebody with high blood or cholesterol or sugar, right? That is because they're not change the diet. They are not to Shakima. There's no awareness or they are changed. So now as a victim, the same way, what I would call normal life. Right? It's normal life. It's what everybody eats. So I ate the same way, and I ate that way until my body started failing me. And luckily, information out there, Dr. Sangoma, because I remember the day I was in my house and really told me about those videos of Dr. Sangoma. And documentary over again, what the health. You should be saying, what the fuck?
Not what the hell.
Yeah, it's like, I go, what the hell? Documentary la ya thoma unkisha behind the food industry. Or what happens ka kwa side ya dilo tse le gore a re tseba ba dira eng, how are they made, what do they put in them, the intentions behind why they manufacture these things, how they made them, and I began to be aware of information that Dr. Sebi I bolelang about alkalinity. The information that ke hwetsang ga ke dira my research about the food industry. It thoma go connect. Now I can see, oh shoot, this guy is telling me I shouldn't eat these things. These people are telling me why these things are bad. So, okay, I went to my fridge, kanchari na machela, kfecha mo di reka. Ni cheese chela di poloni chela warra ke ben ki rata ke rata di toaster.
Ngawa kisi tsela go mkhukhu go tembisa go.
And then kakra that list that Dr. Sebi ya di alkaline. And that list since ke phela ka yona ka ya shopo ka reka dijo ka change metsi ka change di oil di sukiri tsaka according to that whole list and everything, sugar, salt, grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, technology. So ka shopping for the first time after ke stop fetsa la dijo, and I went and bought that alkaline stuff and ka phela ka tsona for about 3 to 4 weeks, and after that my health got back to normal. And that's how I realized them but feedback they're lying. They tell us diabetes is a death sentence. For the rest of your life. They tell you when it's like chronic disease. And so that's when I realized, God damn, I brought a crisis. Because I'm not the first. I mean, one of my favorite artists, man, died because of diabetes. Because I wish that guy had met this information. You know how much I love Mendoza? Nenga had shown today. But it's gone because of the food that we eat. So now my mission in life, go manufacturer or producer. The food industry no longer is related to our health as well. So that's the alkalinity. And that's why I sorry to look. Take the tour, guys. The Natalichana Gualena deliver. The tour, Dr. Sebi, what do you recommend our repeal because they are gluten free, acid GMO. You know, probably times have changed. But and so Nasiki we shall ultimately because in the process of our health, our business at the same time. Because as men, we must provide, we must have money, we must do all these things. So I would like those of you who are in farming or you want to go into farming to consider partnering to manufacture these things. So that those are the two main consumables. Every day is every day is if we change those two things, I believe we can take a chunk of the market. Because and then the alternative. I believe so here manufacture the alternative, and I promise you, like I said, lose it because this is what nature designed. Okay, I know anything and everything, and I get it so because we are all part of this society. It's not anybody's fault. But I come about awareness. Now we need to say we need to do something about this. And so now what I'm asking you guys to do is to think about how we can build this alkaline food industry and how, if we're not only interested, we came together to come and build this because every build a house. Our families, our communities, the people who die. How many of us somebody because now? Let me see. Doesn't it hurt? But there was a way you can fall. If not about the herbs, if not about the fruits, maybe if it's about the grains, still no more. I see the GMO.
Perhaps before we complicate it more, we are fast. That's why there's a reason most of Africa we've got 120 as a maximum speed limit. It's an acceptable speed. Because this man is talking a very complex language and we're still trying to introduce the topic so that we understand what we're talking about. Maybe before I even go there, I apologize to say that to you. My name is Dr. Sango. Imina phangweni ya gwamenti zwa balo bakantshela ba lokolo la batsobeka itimburi tansaba bona bakhanziya nsiya basika ira ina bochabanyonka itaspana ibakhala ngayibanyaya mara ke boela ga ke nna mamudi ya koma nna ke tlo botsa mangile setlolwana sa tlhako ke setlolwana sa batshadibe batho ba tshobela sa mmano kwa botshadibe ba re he batho ke batho ba sona se thale rena se thala ra se ntshara lobela se se ba rate dinawa tša dipele ngabe di pela dinawa ngabe di mpetse rena batshadibe ba ro sampona ke le nna ke mmiro wa mandodole sampona ke le tiri na mamiro a re ba tiri tetse le kgolire thobe I'm a medical doctor by profession and I'm a Sangoma by birth. I was born at Sangoma and I went to school to study medicine. Because I was part of a system, or I'm part of a system, I found myself developing one aspect of myself more than the other aspect. But having went up the ladder in this stream, I'm a very inquisitive person. I ask a lot of questions. I don't just conform to information that is given without interrogating it and questioning it and going and doing my own things. So in my process, I started asking a lot of questions, and the simple question that I asked myself was, what is food? Maybe that should be our point of view. Because again, we are talking about men's health. I want us to understand we are going to eventually end up at men's health. But this problem, which is a symptom of low libido, it originates from somewhere. Now, ordinarily, what the system would say is that you come to Dr. Siane or Chief, I've got a low libido, then I give you Cialis, and then you drink, and then you get a supposedly strong erection for like 1 hour, you get excited. I think that is a strong erection. And that time you're 29 years of age, and you don't see absolutely nothing wrong.
You shouldn't be using that.
Why are you using those things? To begin with. So where does this thing come from? We're not here to solve the symptom here. We are not worried about the symptom. The symptom is not an issue. We are here solving a cause. Because this symptom, which is weak erection, is the reason why most of us are killing ourselves. Now, honestly speaking, if I start having problems with my erection, comrades, please come and bury me next week. I am not going to have no time to be sitting around here when Nakala Musipini is for Muragi Kirao Murailochi. Agree with them on Rice America Gaibariji. Didn't make Yaboro Rice America. At 30 years of age, Yaboro Rice America, what and company Giuseppe. So now that's why we are talking about men's health and we are talking about food or nutrition. Or what is food? And I want us to keep it at home so that it does not confuse us a lot. You understand what I mean? Now, what is food? And what is the purpose of food? Why must we eat?
Right.
Yeah. I'm asking you.
Yeah. So obviously the aim of food is to nourish the body.
Nourishment.
To maintain
nourishment.
Right.
So if this thing
nourishes me, it means it must have certain contents within it that do that job. Yeah, nourish. It comes to that thing that you're talking about food right now, where it's modified, it's GMO. The reason is because we want the population has grown so much, and food security is important. So we need to create enough food to feed everyone. So what do? We accelerate the process. We cheat the system. So yes, you're going to be eating that whole grain, but is it really whole grain?
That is a question.
That is a question that we just keep it on the side. Most of us every day we do quick things. Spatronyana mola kapelanyana, kodrigi mola limola, monster mola limola, dragoni mola limola, what mola limola. What are we doing?
Because what is food?
Is that what you're eating food?
Or
it's something that fills you?
It definitely fills you, man.
I met you the other day, you were so strong, you were so full. So it was filling. But is it food? Is it nourishing you? Is it performing its function? You have a car, I believe. Is it unleaded or is it diesel?
Or you just wake up
one day and feel like, no, today let me put diesel, tomorrow I'll put 93, tomorrow I'll put 95. You don't. You respect your car, you understand it. Because you understand the aim of that fuel is for combustion.
Right? So that is
right?
the aim of
So that is
food.
the aim
For
of food. It's for
So why do
combustion.
you put in
So
your
why do you
car
put in your car
that takes 93
unleaded? Why do you put diesel?
That's what we do with food.
That's
Now
what
we come back here. It's the
Now we
food.
come back here. It's the food. It's the analogy of the food.
It's the analogy of the food.
It's the analogy of the food. Now,
Back in
our
the day,
people
we
back in the
believed
day,
life
we believed
begins
life begins in the
not
gut. Life is not in the
It's not
heart.
in the head.
It's not in the head.
gut.
It's in the gut.
How is it in the gut?
How is it in the
we have
gut?
got
In the gut, you have got
nervous system,
the autonomous nervous system. You've got what we call the nervous plexus and whatnot. Meaning the gut by itself, it controls itself without you thinking or without you deciding. It does not need anybody to do its job. It knows what it needs to do.
Now, when you put
in this fuel, which is food,
it is going to be
broken down into small pieces to create energy. Now, what happens to these other things that are not used? And what do we call them? We call them toxins.
Right.
Now, what happens to them?
They
have to be
eliminated by the channels of elimination.
That's right.
Either we must
sweat them off.
We must urinate
them. We must number two them. We must cough them out.
That is the process of
what we call detoxification, because it's a process of eliminating toxins. The body knows that. It knows what it needs to do. That's why when you flu, what happens to you? You become hot. You sweat a lot. What is the body doing? Is removing that causative agent. We give you Panadol to stop that process from happening.
So instead of eliminating
the ability of the body to self-regulate and self-heal.
That's the thing. And that's the thing. I don't think many of us are sure the body is designed to heal itself.
The
body is designed to heal. It knows what it needs. Now, because you are responsible, think of the body as your car.
And you going to
that Caltex and you're going to put on food. Think about it. Before you take food, think about exactly that. Now, what happens with food? After we've eaten and the digestions and everything that has happened in here,
this food
they cause mucus.
It's like a gel.
It's like a gel or a glue. That now plaque on the surface of either your stomach or your small intestine or your lung. You understand? That means what you wanted to achieve, which was to nourish your body, cannot be achieved because there is a line more, there is a glue more. So the nutrients they cannot penetrate into the system and be assimilated. That is why my friend was having type 2 diabetes. Because of mucus.
And malnutrition. Because I've been
He was feeling
himself. He was not being nutritious. He was just feeling himself.
That's right.
He was literally, if we were to use the word, he was full of shit. There was no food. It was just shit that was in his stomach.
Right.
And all of us, we are full of shit, comrades.
That
is why the majority of us are having problems with health issues. Number one, once your gut is not functioning, you can't think straight.
Right. That's why I was going foggy. That's why my memory was good.
Once your gut
is full of shit, you can't think straight because you're full of toxins and they cannot be eliminated.
So
now, when we say let your food be your medicine,
we are talking about
that very same aspect. That is going to fill you. Morohola at the same time, what it does, it potentiates the body to self-regulate. That is what we call homeostasis, the balancing of forces. The body knows how to balance itself.
The body
knows how to create energy from the food that you give it, and then it balances itself.
Now, where
do we come in now with the issue of men's health and the problems that we have? Is that our gut is not clean. We eat junk. We don't. Only three. Futa. It does not mean the other thing when you put that thing on the back. It means you're taking care of yourself. Even if it meant that other thing, is still pleasure at the same time. So you're getting two things all at once. So it doesn't matter. doesn't even matter. Nobody cares. You are healthy, right?
Here's another one. How many live on greens? The process of digestion. So that the system.
Thank you for that topic. Thank you very much. Now, why papa go na rata preferiso or rata morogo la wa baba gola? That morogo la, if you put it into your, just on your tongue, what happens to your mouth? You start hyper-salivating.
What is the function of saliva?
What is the function of saliva? It's for digestion.
So if you
hypersalivate from the mouth, what happens in the stomach?
It also hypersalivates.
It also hypersalivates. Meaning whatever products that are going to be released to help digestion are released before you can even eat.
So therefore it means
they already find an area that is already ready to do what? To digest and eliminate. That's why you don't struggle from constipation. That's why they would use what we call bitter herbs. It either comes in a form of unanya or something. That thing helps to move and release all these mucus and block all these channels and allow your body to be able to remove the toxins. So that is why it's important. It's not important to come to me, to Dr. Sangoma, and ask for chikwan, comrades. Don't come to me and ask for chikwan. You'll be disrespecting yourself. The first thing that you need to do in the morning, just go and exercise.
Drink right.
Eat right. Detoxify.
Water with salt. Water with salt is another way how to detox the colon. But I don't really get constipation. So because I eliminate this constipation thing is the major cause. Yes. And they begin damaging other organs of the body as well.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. If you can level the way Richard. Generally, that's a common.
There's no fiber at all.
There's no fiber. So okay, let's talk about protein in general, right? When I gluten, which is glue, right? Which is glue.
That's why it's called gluten.
It's called gluten. Yeah, the player.
Yes.
But this is normal, right?
But
I can judge him more. Because then I'm not better than you. I still grab 2 slices of bread here and there. Even though I'm conscious of it, I just cannot see direct to a certain extent as other people, right? Makura aho cheesy goba maswe.
Pasteurized food.
Makura homu gape ke makuto. And I go to Nakara, meanwhile, some to Longora, Sandra, or no Neoleka, or How are these things going to be digested?
So going
to constipation.
Here is the problem with
constipation.
Now we're thinking
the problem with constipation is just number 2. So I'm feeling the problem with constipation is if you imagine it, it means there is lack of movement.
The body must move.
Things must move. If there is lack of movement in one space, what happens if it and then that area becomes stagnant?
Out of the blue,
that area it's you see what happens? Now we're just thinking about constipation, but we're not looking at the secondary things that are happening there. So you have got this accumulation of the chila that are inside. Think about Madlangi Wola Wamontemara Olgamarambaya. It's what Matalani calls Tagaraha. It's literally Tagaraha. Because that thing cannot be eliminated. And your body needs to eliminate what it cannot use.
Now because
you are not moving and because that thing is stagnant like that, what we call the bacteria, it's a medium for the bacteria or the whole. Then you start developing malaria, the infection, the what. Guess what we do? We give you antibiotics. Guess what they do? They kill those bacteria, but they kill even the most important bacteria that help you to digest your food.
They also cause constipation.
It's like a cycle. So you're going back to one. So basically, the system does not want you healthy.
When you are healthy,
I don't make money.
And guys, here's the problem. Here's the fact.
Here's the fact. If you are healthy, how am I going to make money?
There's no reason. There's no way.
If you don't come to
If you don't come to me and ask for that pill, how am I going to make money?
And guys, here's the thing.
These guys, but they media, marketing, every single day when we wake up, right?
In as much
as about the alkaline, all we know are the things we're not supposed to do.
And that is why.
And enough for nothing. That's why I think of it as a crisis, because I think now future here because now children are born sick. A 2-year-old not diabetes. By 5, all sorts of injections.
I've seen a 9-year-old girl that looks like she's 17.
Right.
She's fully
developed.
She's 70.
She's 70. It's not because of the genetics. It's what we call epigenetics. When you look at the history of the family, they are normally small-bodied people and whatnot and whatnot. But now, the genetics are saying she is going to look like you because you are the father, right? And because you are not big by nature. But now the epigenetics says the environmental factors also has got an influence in how the child grows and looks. So you've got a 9-year-old who already looks like they are 17. What are the health implications of that? The health implications of that is that when she's 25, she's going to be suffering a disease that normally we suffer it when we are 50. So therefore it means the lifespan of her, she's going to die when she's 40. And then what are those external factors that we're looking at? Fast food, Mr. Delivery.
Those are the common things.
Those are the common things that we do. Those are the common things that our children do.
And we normalize it so much so that even if we do the party for they take them to the same place where they are going to destroy their health. And they do it out of love. No, I'm doing this because I love my children. But it's not because because I want them to more in their natural mind. But it's because the world has normalized abnormal. Normalized this shit.
Where does food come from?
Right? Food ichomogo.
I thought it comes from supermarket.
And that's the lifestyle.
And that's the lifestyle.
Thank you.
So there's no food in the supermarket.
So there's no food in the supermarket.
There's no food in the supermarket.
There's no food in the supermarket. The food, which is the medicine, ego is in the ground.
So whatever we eat must not be from the super. If it is from the supermarket, let it be that one that comes from the ground. It must be the ground thing.
Right.
Before you come to me,
my friend, and ask for chikwa,
you must tell me that.
In the past 2 weeks,
I detoxified.
So meaning I cleansed my colon.
I changed my food.
Before that, I cleansed my colon. I give food healing. I had something to help me cough out the mucus. So basically, where I am right now, I'm completely clean. And of course, I have in my tank right now, which is this car of mine. I have only put 93 unleaded because that is what 93 unleaded runs. Then from there, come to me and say, I still have a problem. Then that's when I will come and solve them. Because you are wasting your money, guys.
You are wasting your money.
You are wasting your money is coming to us because our grandfathers used to know how to treat themselves. Because you've got a medical. I had a friend of mine. He is 50 something. He had a scandal. He's a very prominent figure. He had a scandal. He had a sex scandal. They were going to expose him. This girl screenshotted the conversation about how that girl was saying, no, you gave Philemonatiga ona and for long and right? And then the man was also exchanging in that. You think that is a scandal, right? And then they were like, yeah, we're going to share it on social media. It's like, you are doing well. I'm 50-something years of age, and this girl that you're talking about is 20-something years of age. And this girl is congratulating me for my good job as a 50-something-year-old man. Please go and advertise me there. Because that's not you boys of 25 years, you can't even do that thing. And look at me, I'm 58. I'm satisfying a young girl who's 25. So please go share those news so that they come to me and I teach them how we do these things.
And that is why my fellow because even though this thing here is your sign now, consciously or that I affect relationship, I got lemon like I want. If you come along, so much so that libido naturally a drop.
Right.
right? That direction. That's why men's clinic is always so big today. Men's clinic is the advantage of the fact that society has normalized the wrong things. We have no choice because we feel and I agree we don't talk among men sometimes, right? I mean, don't worry, lose direction is embarrassing. I knew it was scary for me in Tirale. But the dangers here, you're going to go to men's clinic and they are going to give you more toxins for some time, but then they will damage your overall. And then, probably your sexuality can over damage for a very long time if you don't change that path. So truth of the matter is, this thing here, if we don't start adjusting it, and I'm not saying we're going to change it 100%, but at least for rice, tomonya gari toro chana chesu. Wagusha. For like small adjustments still on a day-to-day basis, still maintain a meal because majita exercise, right? And majita bichisanya, right? Right? So all of these things they contribute towards testosterone levels. So it creates a problem, and eventually that's part of the reason why to are in GBV is simply because is irritable, impatient, because what's about men
Now, maybe before anything, before we continue, so that we make it a very more interactive and engaging. Maybe comment, a question, an addition, or something. As we have this conversation, thank you very much. As we have this conversation, noted, sir. Noted, big brother, noted. Sure.
We are Africans. Things like your shoes are it's embarrassing for us to become are there any critical ways that you could accept? Because you look at respiratory issues. Most of us actually you are using smoke substances. How then mechanism so that our physical is not emanating from physical health issues and not emanating from the lack of as if you were to do mental or psychological whatever the case may be. So I just wanted you to
Thank you, sir.
Now my question is, how can one help you in those
What? Help you with what? Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe when
Yeah. Sure.
The question has been the issue demand and supply of the alkaline. My question is, I think the third question in passing to say population is growing. Once we change our diet alkaline. Do you think really the alkaline that we have currently in the country is going to feed us all. Considering the fact that we don't have land as black people. Don't have land, and even if some of us we do have land. You look at these days, and again, you don't have enough resources. If you do have to plow, produce alkaline. How do we go about balancing the food demand as compared to
Thank you, sir. Moral Bujisho.
And I wish it be something say long worry. Rekas distributors or photocopiers from one community to another, because yes, lojo di belangam ga chona developed resources, land. These farmers were level lower now. One midisha wale ka demand ya that community. So come much or midisha lojo long or adi zibelo adi probably might be a challenge. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Saleka invite my local farmers, and we had a meeting. And I told them about how we can do it, because if I have 20 farmers or 10 farmers, for example, and I get about 8, and I can give each one of them. The aim is not necessarily to supply whole yet, is to build the system. At least to be more and a very general demand. Then we will think about how we can expand into bigger land, because at least you start to sustain these farmers.
I believe
alkaline food in a land demand, because I have so many people every single day saying, okay, Kenya, I'll change it. Where do I find them? And that is a real question. Then I struggle to find some of these alkalines. I get 100% the way Kenya, simply because logically and that's why I'm going out of my way to work with these farmers, so that solutions, not just to myself, but to the very community, because there are so many sick people right there. So my aim is, if in every community the farmers, and then we have them growing each of something, and then central place where we sell. I believe, and my view is, why try to be like Woolworths, for example? But Woolworths is the rate of or maybe even marginalized, healthy food. Right, because as a man, the price change. So clearly, that healthy food is now an economic war in a way. Or if you're poor, well, now we shall charge. If you're rich, you eat health. So now we need to be conscious of that. Let's get try our computer level, realize our market so the price chart have to be at a level support as a community. So I believe even if they may be complex right now in the beginning, in the maybe as we build them. But I promise you, I think logic tells me as long as logic will be affordable to him.
My brother, how can medical aid help me with food? What's the aim of medical aid? Is it for it to help you, for you to help it? Why was it created? Was it created for you to help you, or for you to help the owners of that medical aid?
That's an interesting question.
To help you? No, change that mentality already. Swap it. You must forget it. That's why at the end of the year, the CEO of a medical aid company gave 25 million bonuses for that year. We say they've done well. The reason they've done well is because they did not pay you. Exactly. We'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll get to that. First of all, I need you to understand. I need you to. But we need to unravel the system. So we need to be able to understand, so that you are conscious when you're doing it. You know that here I'm just doing it because next door. Because the truth of the matter is that it can't help you. Which medical aid gives you the ability to buy food with the card of medical aid? Absolutely none. Therefore, the answer is no. Now, the only things that the medical aid try and do to approximate you to health is when they talk about those points, when you go buy this certain food, we give you a certain what. Do you understand what I mean? I don't want to mention the medical aids by name for the sake of Riskaba advertising. You understand what I mean? But that is basically where it can only help you. Also, that thing that thing encourage healthy living. Now the question is, do you need to pay 6,000 for somebody to tell you to live healthy? Exactly. So if you are paying the medical aid for food, to live healthy, then that's wrong. You can pay it for the acute incidences where you get a car accident. You understand, something that would need you to that. So unfortunately, in this case, medical aid does not help you in terms of the food. There's no Molo you can buy food through that other than just that one. But also there it means you can literally just listen to Matalani in the morning or wake up, run, eat, I mean, that's basically that we know. You understand what I mean? So basically the answer is that the medical aid in this instance does not help. It does not help us. We are just wasting our money in this instance.
It would probably be helpful if I could just tell the medical aid that they pay for his own health
and you buy your own food. Now you invest in buying that alkaline.
Here's what I believe. I believe you don't need medical aid, but you might need hospital stay. Because yeki yang plan ya hospital ukano kra accident mara yeki ya go ya general practitioner ape controller ko ena everything.
Actually, Matalani, we must have a conversation one day about this very same conversation, so that we understand what is important in health, what is necessary. Because the reason we are depressed is because we don't have money, and we are expected to use money so much. I have to pay 7,000 because it's important that my children must be covered. But is it necessary that you must pay 7,000?
No.
I think the major problems that she is currently addressing it's all about money. It's not only keep. It's not only keep. It's
No.
They don't even know.
So basically it's to go back to that thing within this very complex and complicated system. Keep it in your mind that you have got junk inside of you that must be released. So find a way we release in that process. In the morning, run.
take a detoxing mixture, take something that is going to allow your stomach to digest and your toilet. Make sure that you are able to urinate, make sure that you are able to cough. All those things are simple things that do not need anybody. You understand what I mean? And they go almost 60 to 80% of your health is dependent on that.
It's just
only dependent on that. That you are done. You won't have
medical aid.
no. Then you will need what we were going to talk about. There are things that are called hospital stays.
A hospital
stay says that it's like an insurance, a health insurance. So what happens is that probably you pay 300 rand or something depending on the type of policy that you want. So it means you don't have access to GP and getting the antibiotic clinics and just having an entire clinic in your house that you don't understand, because these days we've got a pill for everything. Do you think you forget easily? Here is a pill. Do you think you remember too much? Here is a pill. Do you think you have less sex? Here is a pill. Do you think you have more sex? Here is a pill. Everything has to be solved by a pill these days. All of you, you've got beautiful pharmacies into your houses and you don't understand what the F they are for. You get a pill to sleep. Do you struggle to sleep? Take a pill. Do you struggle to wake up? Take a pill. Do you struggle to say hi to a girl? Take a pill. Come on. Let me answer my view. I wanted to save the best for last. You know how much I respect your view. So, how can we?
He's a man of high moral.
Yeah, very high moral. How can we help cope with stress as men and to deal with all these many things that are happening? Number one, we need to understand these things. These things are political. If we're going to take politics out of these things, we will never win. We must first understand that these things are politics. If you think about the pharmaceutical companies and how they came into being in the late 19th century, the late 18th century. Before the 18th century, 19th century, we were using it. Then the pharmaceutical companies came into play. But the people that were leading the pharmaceutical companies are purely business people. Their aim is just to make business. They are in charge of the media houses. They are in charge of the narrative that they share. They are in charge of it. So you need to understand.
Department of Health is entirely theirs.
Yes, it belongs to them. So therefore, they will tell you what you must drink, how you must drink it, what is safe, what is not safe, and then when you just take and take and take and take. Now, how do we cope with stress, especially Rena Esbana? I'm going to take this to a spiritual level. I'm not taking it like antidepressant. Why is a man depressed? Why must you be depressed and you take an antidepressant? You can have a moment of feeling down, but that's not depression. You are just feeling down. So do you take a pill when you feel down? No, you don't take a pill. You understand what I mean? You just do whatever. Exactly. So now, how do we manage to cope with stress, especially from a spiritual perspective? Now, what I do for me that I think works. Meditate. No, what better say meditation. Meditate. The facility busy too fast. When was the last time you were with yourself, sir?
This man
misses himself, but he's every day waking up with himself. He has not seen himself hardly. Actually, I think he sees more his wife than he sees himself every day. We don't have time with ourselves. There's so much demand on us. Number one, the economy demands that we must wake up in the morning, go to work, we must do what we must come back and do what. In that busy schedule, we don't have time for ourselves. You don't have time to sit down with yourself and be like, man, how are you?
And listen to your thoughts.
Are you good? How do you feel about 1, 2, 3?
You understand? We don't.
You understand? We don't.
Until we master
that art, we will never get out of this cycle of depression and what. Because you demand so much of yourself, but yet at the same time, you don't have any place where you're going to take and give up. Because you don't have time for you. It's your kids, it's your wife, it's your work, it's asthma, jitaka Saturday, is that other one. In the morning when you wake up, you already good night, you're already stressed. In the morning.
So
I personally, what works for me is time for myself. Now I don't play when it comes to me. I'm very selfish when it comes to me.
When it comes to me,
I'm extremely selfish. There's no any other me other than me. If I lose this me, there won't be any other me. So I make sure that in 24 hours I dedicate certain time to myself. 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to myself.
I just switch off.
Completely. Normally I do it in the early hours of the morning because I wait for you all. At that time I know you would be yeah, that's when you all are there in the traffic. When you all are there in the traffic, I'm like, thank God. Now it's time for me to do what? To listen to myself. Ask myself. I need to be honest to myself. Ask yourself honest questions. Where was I yesterday? How do I feel about where I was yesterday? What did I do? How do I feel about it? And all these things. Tomorrow, which is what I'm about to do. What do I need to do? How do I feel about what I need? You need to ask yourself, how do you feel about things? Renabana, we don't think we have got feelings. Apparently, we don't have feelings. Apparently, we're just things in jail that just wake up. That's why even when we meet women, you don't need to feel anything for them. You don't even ask yourself, how do I feel about this girl? How does me, not the physical me, not this thing that is here that you're looking at, but how do I feel about this girl? How do I feel about this relation? What does it bring to me? So we are so irresponsible that we even become part of the problem while we're trying to solve the problem. So let's spend time with ourselves. Don't be scared to be with yourself. Also, a woman who is afraid of being with themselves, do not marry that woman. A woman who must drink savannah so that she can sleep, don't marry that woman. She can't be with herself. She's scared to be with herself. How is she going to be with your children?